Simone Biles is lucky.
For what?
Cause she took a chance. She lucky cause she wouldn't have all that. Jonathan said she wouldn't have all that.
Hey now.
Cause he had time.
Jonathan,
Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
Alright.
We matched. I was just the first to message. As soon as I clicked, ooh, I like him, it matched. So he had already liked my profile, which that means
She
I was
always
just the first.
say we match
No,
first.
baby, we matched, but I was the first to message.
Yeah, you
I was
messaged
scared.
me. She messaged. She wasn't scared. She wasn't scared. I give her that.
I know what I like and I know what I want.
y'all are young newlyweds. Don't let people bring that shit in y'all house. Don't let this man do that. Don't do that.
I'm not trying to bring them shit nowhere, Freddie. This man's a hell of a safety.
She's
He
only
will
the best on
never
the
be
planet.
as good as a safety as this little motherfucker is as a gymnast. You agree, bro?
You know what? He might, because the other day I said, you know what? In a couple years, nobody is gonna call him Simone Biles' husband. They'll call me Jonathan Owens' wife.
Speaking of, I don't know if you saw it.
Babe, do you know who Simone Biles is?
Yeah,
Do you know who her husband is?
he's in the NFL.
Yeah, but like, do you know who he is?
No.
Exactly.
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
Do you know who Simone Biles is?
The Olympian? Yeah.
Okay, so do you know who her husband is?
She's married?
Yeah, she's married.
To who?
Some NFL player, I think.
Football player.
Yeah, football player. So you have no idea who she's married to? Okay.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about a fascinating story, a viral story that is causing feminists to lose their minds, okay? And this story involves Olympic gold medalist gymnast Simone Biles. I'm pretty sure most of you guys are familiar with Simone Biles and her husband, Jonathan Owens, who you guys may be less familiar with, but he's a safety for the Green Bay Packers. Now, why am I talking about these two individuals? Well, there was a recent conversation in which these two individuals were talking about their relationship, their marriage, and the husband, Mr. Jonathan Owens, stated that, hey, I'm the catch, right? I'm the prize in the relationship, okay? That she had to pursue me, and men are always the prize, right? That's essentially what he was stating about relationships. And this caused feminists to lose their minds, right? I'm not exaggerating, like they're quite literally losing their minds over Simone Biles' husband making his statement, because essentially his statement and Simone Biles' confirmation that his statement is in fact true is shattering their worldview, which is that women gain value in relationships from their career, their money, and their status, which is just not true, right? This is just not a true thing. And Simone Biles, being an Olympic level gymnast, okay, she is what feminists consider to be a high value woman, right? She's a top tier woman because of her money and her status. This, again, is shattering their reality, right? This is a reality check for them, and they can't take it, okay? Because she is in agreement, despite her perceived value from the feminist perspective, that, hey, my man, who is a NFL safety, a millionaire, is actually the catch, right? He's actually really the catch, and I'm not, right? And again, they're very hurt by this. So I want to go ahead and play this clip of Jonathan Owens making a statement. And I want you guys to pay attention to Simone Biles' reaction, because it'll tell you everything you need to know. And then we're going to play the reactions from the feminists who are extremely upset. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I swiped her and it said we matched. So I'm just like, oh, okay. So I'm gonna see what's up. So I go do my workout and I come back and I get like, I had some likes on my Instagram, you know, and I'm like, oh, this might be. I'm like, okay. I didn't know who she was at the time, but like the first thing that I saw was that she just had a bunch of followers. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, she got to be good. I promise you, I'm a real life story. When she won the Olympics, I was in college, and we didn't have NBC, we didn't have Olympic channels, and we're in camp. Late July, early August. So I'm not paying attention to, you know. So I never would have had a moment to where I would have watched, like, you know.
Jonathan, I'm gonna let you finish your story, man. Continue.
I swiped her.
Yeah, so again, this clip is driving feminists crazy, right? And what's really driving them crazy more than anything is not what he said, but her reaction to it. Because clearly, looking at her face here, she is in agreement, right? She knows that what he's saying is true, is that he is the catch, right? And she knows this. And again, it's making feminists lose their minds. Take a look.
The thing that bothers me the most about that Simone Biles husband's interview isn't the fact that she's sitting right there next to him, smiling, giggling, eating it up. And it's not the fact that he's just like I don't know, I didn't really know her. It's the fact that the vibe that I get from that is he's saying she wasn't really my type. She wasn't really my type. She isn't the typical girl that I could have gotten or, would have gotten with, but I gave her a chance, therefore I am the catch. There is no reason for a woman like Simone Biles to be as so talented and accomplished and as beautiful as she is to be with a man who speaks about her like that, unless he is reverse gold digging and just, riding off her coattails for the name, for the fame, and everything else that comes with it. The way he talks about her gives very much resentment. Oh, I gave her a chance and look at where we are. That's what the interview gives.
So I think I might be the only bitch on TikTok that actually knew who this deranged narcissist was before that whole podcast interview happened, because I'm a Packers fan, which also makes me embarrassed that he's on my team. But you need to hear about this guy because it's going to make this infinitely worse. He was an undrafted free agent when he came out of college because the whole of the NFL looked at him and said, no thanks, during the actual draft.
Simone Biles' husband is a walking red flag.
I always say we the men that catch, man. I always say we the catch, man.
Yeah, so she really booked you.
She did, though.
Is what you're saying.
I was fighting it. I was fighting it.
This man got into a relationship with Simone Biles, and he's acting like she's the one who should be lucky.
How in the hell did you pull Simone Biles? How did you do that, bro?
Man, it's really how she pulled me, man.
We've all been here where we're all just like googly eyes for, a mediocre man who doesn't actually see us as a person. And it's so easy to just be like, oh my goodness, he can do no wrong, and make a lot of excuses. Kind of look at that type of talk as funny or endearing. He was low-key dissing her multiple times in this interview. And men do this all the time. If you read between the lines of this podcast interview, it's just actually sad more than anything. Also, he made her drive to see him. This is crazy to me because if a guy actually wants to see you, he's going to go the distance to see you. I went on a date with a guy that drove 2 hours. 2 hours. It was a 4-hour round trip to go on a first date with me, a coffee date. I have no judgment towards Simone at all. I think that this is just very common in a lot of relationships. It's just insane that a man that is married to Simone Biles would talk like that.
Husband's not where it's at.
Simone Biles does not bother anyone. She just flips and posts her man. And I follow her on Instagram, so I see her post her man plenty of times. But I have never heard that man speak until today. Free her, because she in the room with them. That's the delusional smile. That's my man got me dignitized. And I know what he's saying don't make sense, y'all, but I love him. I know that smile. I've done that smile plenty of times. I know, girl. I don't know. I just want my man to be like, I laid eyes on her and I knew that my life wouldn't be the same without her. Anyway, y'all, you can be a gold motherfucking winning Olympic athlete. You could be Beyonce and your man is still going to embarrass you. So think about it.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, right? There was a whole lot of delusion in those meltdowns from these feminists who are upset because they just got a reality check on the fact that a woman's status and wealth doesn't really mean much to a man in regards to what men are looking for and how they assess the value of women. Now, Simone Biles, I think it's worth noting that she has responded to these feminists who are outraged by saying, are y'all done yet? Basically saying, look, F y'all, I'm happy in my relationship. My man is happy, and you guys can kick rocks, right? And yeah, I think she's right, because clearly this face right here, okay, is the face of a woman who has submitted to her husband. And that's what the feminists are mad about, right? The feminists are not upset about what Jonathan Owens said, okay? They're not really upset about that. What they're really upset about is Simone Biles' response, because Simone Biles, being a woman of high status, according to the feminist standard, she's not supposed to accept that, right? She's supposed to had told him and corrected him during the interview and say, no, I'm actually the catch. You had to pursue me, and that you're lucky to be with me because I'm a woman of high status, and my status is derived from the fact that I am an Olympic gold medal gymnast, right? So again, this is what they're upset about. They're upset because Simone Biles, instead of pushing back and basically, essentially trying to expose and correct her husband during the interview, she actually did the exact opposite. She submitted to him in the interview, letting him know, yeah, you're right. You're right. You are the catch, right? Which by any objective standard, right? You're talking about a man who's an NFL athlete, somebody who most women would probably find to be attractive. I'm assuming that his finances are good. Again, especially compared to the average man. I mean, he's most likely probably a millionaire. I'm assuming that he's a good husband. I mean, just look at that smile on her face. Clearly she's in love. Clearly she agrees with him. And clearly she has submitted to him, right? Which is how things are supposed to be. Okay. Women are supposed to submit to their husbands, right? And again, that's what the feminists are upset about because they believe that Simone Biles could do better than him, right? That he's some mediocre man, right? You see how they default to trying to belittle him and bring him down, even though most of these women, if this situation didn't occur, if they just, found this guy on a random dating app, some NFL player, 6 foot plus millionaire, yeah, these girls would feel extremely lucky to be with a guy like that, right? Clearly, this guy has a lot of options. In fact, I would go as far as to say that considering a man of his status and his value, and clearly, again, he's probably a good husband just based off this smile right here and then this reaction and the submission of his wife, I would go as far as to say that he probably has plenty of options, right? You're talking about a man that could easily be with a model or have his pick in regards to women, okay? I don't doubt that at all. No doubt about mine. He probably has cleaned up when it comes to women, okay? And that's why he carries himself the way that he carries himself, in the sense that he knows that he can probably get most women that he wants, right? And she knows that as well too, right? She absolutely knows that, okay? But I can't say the same thing about Simone Biles. Why do I say that? Well, the reason why is because, quite frankly, although Simone Biles is a pretty girl, she is not a model, right? She is not the type of girl that you would typically see with an NFL player from a looks perspective. And that's not to belittle Simone Biles, because clearly her husband values her for more than her looks. And I think I know why, because again, clearly she's submissive. She's a good wife. She's fit, feminine. She's friendly. She didn't disrespect her husband. She didn't try to check her husband. She didn't try to embarrass her husband like most of these feminist women would have tried to do. She didn't push back. She just, again, she submitted to his authority as a man, right? And this is what women are supposed to do. So again, I know exactly why he chose to be with her, despite that the fact that he probably has plenty of other options. And that is where her value is derived from, okay? Which is her ability to be a good wife, to be a good candidate, to be a mother, to take care of her man, to submit to her man, to follow his lead, to let him lead, and to play her role as a wife, which clearly that's what she's doing, okay? And that's what feminists don't understand. They don't get it. They don't understand that from a men's perspective, her value in regards to her potential to be a good wife or a mother has nothing to do with her career, right? Her career is irrelevant, okay? We could care less about her career and her status as a woman, because as men, we don't value that. As men, we don't value women who have this high status that can lead a household and be the breadwinner, because that is our jobs as men, right? To provide, to lead, to protect. So again, when a woman is trying to play the role of a man, that's not attractive. Men don't care about that. What men care about is, again, a woman that can help him become the best man that he can be, right? That's going to help him by playing her role. And that's what he spent a significant portion of this interview talking about, which is how she was instrumental in his success, okay? And how she played her role as a woman, her proper role as a woman, which is not to overshadow him or to try to act like she's better than him, but to support him in what he does, and how that has helped him with his success, okay? And how they support each other. That's what was talked about. But all the feminists are hung up on the whole, well, I'm the catch thing, right? So despite the fact that she is an Olympic level, gymnast, a gold medal gymnast, world famous, it doesn't matter. She knows that the chance of her pulling another NFL player, that caliber of a man that she has right now, is slim, right? Despite her status. Because again, like I told you guys, most NFL players, when you look at who they date, they're dating models, okay? Simone Biles is not a model. Again, she's a pretty woman, and this is not me trying to bring her down. I'm not trying to bring her down. I'm just telling the truth. And it's a good thing that her husband actually had the wisdom to not let that cloud his judgment and follow the direction of his colleagues, because a lot of these models are not suitable wives, okay? They're not suitable to be wives in the first place, right? So again, he's clearly choosing her based off the things that matter. Simone Biles is not a model, so again, the chances of her actually being able to get with an NFL player is slim to none. Her husband, on the other hand, has plenty of other options, right? In virtue of the fact that, again, he is an NFL player. He's probably $1 million athlete. He has some level of fame. He's, a attractive looking person or whatever. That's probably the way women see him. He knows that, again, he has more options. He has more leverage, right? She knows that her options are limited. Even though she has an Olympic gold medal, her options are still limited with men. Right? Especially when it comes to men of that status. So she most certainly feels lucky to be with him, because she knows that it'd be unlikely for her to ever be able to get with a man like that in any other situation. Again, despite her status. Because she knows that her status as an Olympic gold medalist doesn't really help her out much when it comes to dating men, because that's not what men seek from women. Men don't seek status from women. Right? We don't seek wealth from women. We don't seek the ability for a woman to provide or to protect or any of that stuff, because that is the natural role of a man, right? So Simone Biles openly submitting to her man, agreeing with her man that, yeah, despite the fact that he may not have as much status as her, that he's still the catch, considering the fact that he is a man that is highly sought after, much more than she is, okay? The fact that she's even on the dating market, considering that her status is supposed to add so much to her as a woman. Again, it tells you everything you need to know, right? Because you would think that a woman like her would have been wifed up or had a man a long time ago. Clearly, again, she thinks that she got a catch, right? Clearly, she knows that, well, I'm really lucky to be with this guy, right? Because otherwise, most men would probably be intimidated to date me. And there's probably not a lot of NFL players or professional athletes that would be willing to date me, because I'm not a model, right? Or I don't have the model look. So again, she knows she's extremely lucky. And her admitting this on camera, again, it drives feminists insane, because it's a reality check on their worldview, in which they've told young women, no, your value is derived from your career. You need to go and be a career woman, make a lot of money, try to play the role as a man, and that is going to up your status as a woman. That's going to make you more valuable. You're going to be more sought after. More men are going to want you, when that's just not the case, and it's not true. And Simone Biles really is confirmation that none of that stuff really matters in regards to how to get a good man, because a lot of these women, they're deluded. They think they deserve better men or so-called high-value men, even though they really don't, right? But because they have simps that chase them and that overvalue them and treat them better than they should be treated, they think that they're more valuable than they actually are, right? And that's just simply not the case. What Simone Biles is showing is that, again, your value is not derived from your career or how much money you make. It's really your ability to be submissive, feminine, stay fit, follow the direction, follow the lead of your man, serve your man, which is clearly something that I believe that she probably does just based off the body language in this interview, right? She's actually showing that the traditional role of woman, or being a traditional woman, acting as a traditional woman, even despite the fact that she does have that status, not letting that status go to her head to think that she is above her man in any way, just because she has more status than him, is probably the reason why she ended up getting somebody like him in the first place, when somebody like him otherwise would be dating, again, a model type of girl, not necessarily her. And again, that's what feminists, they don't like, because it is direct confirmation that their worldview is incorrect, right? She is an example that, no. The route to getting a so-called high-value man, Okay, and again, this is why they have to bring him down, because they can't acknowledge that he actually is a highly sought after man. Because they acknowledge that he's a highly sought after man, then again, that goes against their worldview. But they know in their mind that he's a highly sought after man. Again, this is why they're so upset about it. Again, she's showing them to know, in order to get one of these highly sought after men, you have to be traditional, right? You have to submit, which is what a lot of these women just simply don't want to do, right? They want to be argumentative. They want to be masculine. They want to be disrespectful. They want to run things. They want to be a man. And most men don't want that, right? Especially a man like an NFL player who is going to have his pick of the litter for the most part in regards to women, okay? And what you can see here is that obviously Simone Biles and her status as a gymnast was second, right, to anything else. And you know, the good thing is that clearly he's a man that understands the real value in women, which is not looks, because again, a lot of these NFL players, they'll date these model type of girls and they don't bring anything to the table except good looks, and they'll end up picking these girls despite the fact that, again, they're clearly not you know, good wives or, you know, good mother types. A lot of these girls are harlots, and they, you know, are Instagram models, and they're OnlyFans girls, and they sell their bodies online, and they're gold diggers and things like that. Again, this guy clearly has enough wisdom not to go the route that a lot of his colleagues go, okay? But again, as you saw in the interview, he didn't pick her because she was an Olympic level gymnast either. He picked her because she's a traditional woman willing to play her traditional role as a woman, which is to stand behind her husband and to support him, okay? To understand that he comes first and that she is supposed to support him, okay? It's really that simple. Again, this makes feminists upset, right? Because it just proves that they're wrong, right? Their whole worldview is wrong, especially when it comes to the value of women and what men value when it comes to women and relationships. Again, it's the exact opposite of what feminists tell women. And again, this is why they're losing their minds, right? They can't stand it. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.